All right, guys, so let's talk about this 7310 cylinder. I've already got all of my numbers, and man, this thing is wonky. And I was trying to figure out why they did what they did. But anyways, I'll get to that. So I've already milled off the base, right? I've got this, I had to take 40 thousandths off of the base, which is a lot. This thing had 62 thousandths squish, which is redonkulous. So I got it down to 22 thousandths squish, which is right there. It's great. I'm very happy with myself on that. The timing numbers are really weird. So what you have is these transfers. So with this one, we got our exhaust here. Is your primary. These two are your secondary. On most saws, this one that is on your intake side, this is the one that comes on first, right? This should be opening first because what you want is that air-fuel ratio to come in on this side and push the exhaust gases out the exhaust. But with this right here, they've got it completely opposite and to a major degree. Like this right here, you can tell on this view, holy crap, that is a huge difference. But if you look at it on the inside, it's not that big of a difference because you have your roof of your secondaries right there. The roof is much higher. You know, it's really, really angled. So the difference is still big, but it's not like it is right here. The difference is between the two of them. The big one back there comes in at 131 degrees. Wait a minute, no, I'm sorry. 123 degrees after top dead center. And these come on at 131. So this right here, this big one, you've only got 16 degrees of blowdown. And 23 degrees of blowdown over here. No, 24 degrees of blowdown. So that's wonky. That is really, really, really wonky. But what they're doing, as best I can figure, is instead of trying to shove those spent gases out the exhaust, this one right here comes on early and it holds the spent gases in. Holds them in longer so that you get a more complete burn before they exit. And this is all EPA stuff. Randy was asking me, you know, he's like, you know, if Stihl and Husqvarna think that they have to have these auto-tune type saws, how is Echo getting away with not having it? They've still got a standard old school cylinder. Well, that's it. That's how. But this right here, I just kept looking at it and going, what the heck? Why did they do that? Because it didn't make sense at all to me. But then I said, oh, instead of expelling the charge, they're concentrating on holding the charge in. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be raising these up to the level of these over here. Now I'll keep it dropped just slightly, you know, just a little bit. I don't know if I will or not. I might bring them right up there. You don't know till you get in on it. So, and then you make a mistake and go, oh, well, yeah, I was planning on going that far anyways. So, I was watching MWeeba1, his video on where he takes these transfer caps, fills them up with JB Weld in order so that he can reshape this. You've already got that nice curve there. And all we're doing is raising this, so it's still going to be throwing the fuel in the direction it needs to go. I think it'll be fine. And I have the benefit of being able to talk with Charlie and seeing what he's done and everything. The deal on this porting stuff, guys, it is no secret. I'm not giving away any secrets here, right? Now, everybody will find their own unique style, as I am finding mine. And that's great and everything. There's differences, and all of this two-stroke stuff is a ballet. So I'm going to try and hit my numbers on this. So I've got a great squish. I did that yesterday. I'm so proud of that. I've got my machine working great. And, oh, I will show you a little secret that I came up on my own. I mean, I'm sure that there's other people out there doing this, but I'm the only one that I know of doing it. So I was really proud of coming up with that idea. Let me show you that. All right, so this is my setup right here for the cylinder. And the cylinder, so this right here is right at 50 millimeters, whereas the cylinder is 51 millimeters. So it's a little bit looser than I wanted it to be. So what I did was I took this piece of paper and I wrapped it around there, and now she goes on snug as a bug. Let me tell you, that is nice right there. And so it's stuff like that that I'm talking about with a secret, okay? There's no point in keeping that to yourself, because how many people out there have a lathe who are wanting to port cylinders as a business? Not many. Not many. So, this idea of keeping your secrets because you don't want people to steal your business, oh, come on. Most people who want to have their chainsaw ported and would spend $300 on having it done don't even know a single person to send it to. And if they do, they're booked up like crazy. So, anyways, little things that get me. It's like, whatever. So, the numbers I'm trying to hit with this. So we're keeping it basic. So on the intake, whenever it was really high, and out of whack. So it was 77 degrees before top dead center, which gave us 154 degrees of duration, which that's not enough, right? We don't want that. And so, whenever I took the 40 thousandth squish, it dropped that cylinder so much that now we're at 81 thousandths on the opening of the, 81 degrees on the opening of the intake. And so I don't have to take anything out of the floor of the intake. I'll widen it up just a little bit because MWEBA 1 is like widen it up a little bit, just a little bit. So about a 1/16 of an inch on either side. And I'll get it cat's tongue. I'll get it like a cat's tongue so that fuel and air mixture starts to tumble. So we'll do that. On the exhaust, I've got to go up just a little bit. There's a casting in these things. Maybe you can see it. Yeah. There you go. There's a casting in these things. And Charlie told me that, to get it to the right exhaust timing, there'll just barely be a line left of that original casting. There'll just barely be a line there to show it. And so I measured it all out, and sure enough, he's right. Yep. So I'm going to get it to where it's just a little bit of a line. I won't take that casting all the way off at the very top, but on the sides, right, it's really round like this. So I'll take it almost off at the very peak, but then on the sides, I'll raise those up a little bit like that. That's what I'm going to do. And then, of course, the transfers, I'll probably make them match up, like straight match up with each other. And we'll see how she runs. Oh, and of course at the bottom here, I'll open these transfers up at the bottom. And I'll show you that whenever I get done. Okay, so there we go. I hit my numbers. We're good. I already got this side sealed up. And of course that's got to dry and everything. So yeah. The transfers here. All right, so I widened them up a lot. On these right here, these are your primaries. This cylinder skirt, came all the way out to about right here. I just put it in line with where the transfer started, rolled that in as good as I could. Same thing on this side, same thing on the front. And then I opened them up a good bit. You know, I should be able to put a picture in here somewhere so that you'll see. Let's do the intake first. The intake, I didn't have to take anything. Boy, you hear those birds going nuts. I didn't have to take anything off the floor of the intake. All I did was widen the left and right sides just a little bit, about 1/16 of an inch. And then I scuffed it up with, you know, something like this. And that's it. That's all I did to the intake. Once I cut the base on this, the intake was opening at 81 degrees before top dead center. That gives you 162 degrees of duration. We're good. The exhaust, I had to hit it several times. You can see where I went back in there. That part didn't get polished. Oh, it's not shiny. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, I'm such a good porter. I'm so good. I'm so good at this. I did, for the heck of it, take this all the way to 2000 grit. You don't need to do that, guys. Or at least I don't think so. That's my opinion. So, but anyways, I had to hit that roof multiple times. And if you can see there is no line left. I took it all the way because I couldn't get my numbers. I wanted 102 degrees of the exhaust opening. I wanted the exhaust opening to start at 102. And finally it did. So there you have it. We're good. Golden there. So what is that duration-wise? That's 204. And then 204 subtracted from 160. Or, 360. So 156 degrees of exhaust duration. That's weird. Usually people want more than that. But anyways, so transfers where it's at on this saw as far as the difference. You know, I don't know. Anyways, so it's hard to tell from this angle because they do slope, but those the middle one, let me point on this. The middle one right here is the same height as this primary, but the front one opens a little bit sooner than the other ones. So I staggered them. This is actually higher than this back here. This is the same height as this back here. So what we hopefully will have happening is as that piston goes down and it pushes the fuel up in these transfers, we will get a fast burst across the intake side. It'll go boom, 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 pushing the exhaust out the exhaust pipe. So that's the port work. I'm going to go ahead and finish buttoning this up, let it sit, and then figure out what I'm going to do on the muffler.